Erich is my father's name. Annie is my mother's name. Both of them, they were German Jews. They fled during the Second World War, during the Holocaust, to Chile. And they were designed when they arrived, they couldn't stay at the main city. That's why they went to Talca. That was a small city, those 120 miles south from Santiago. That's funny. My mother language is Spanish because Chile is a Spanish country. But my first language was German because I spoke German with my grandmother. Then I just started speaking Spanish when I went to school when I was 4.5 years old.
Did you experience Semitism?
Oh yeah, some of them when I was a kid, because that was exactly after the Second World War, the ending of the World War, and our country was divided half and half. Half of the country was with the Germans, half of the country with the Americans.
How did you handle it?
Well, sometimes talking, sometimes fighting. But here we are, and that's the most important, because that was not so big. Chile and Chilean people are very good people, and they are people, that easily accept foreigners. We have foreigners from all over the South American countries today because our economy is much more advanced than our neighbors.
What were your interests growing up?
Well, I was interested, everything what was related with doing something in front of an audience. I can remember that when I was 9 years old, and my parents, they took me for a show, and I was sitting in one of the tables, I said, I don't want to sit here. I want to be on stage. Then I can't remember from ever, because my mother was an opera singer in Germany. And then she promoted always in me being something related to acting, or singing, or acting. I was always interested in acting. I never thought that I was going to work on television, but something in front of an audience. I can remember even in the school, I was singing in front of the audience. Sometimes I was talking in front of the audience. I went to some radio shows doing jokes, and I was very successful in that. One day I won, and the guy asked me what's my name, and I said my name is Mario Kreutzberger. But he said, with that name here in Chile, you cannot be an actor. You need another name. Then I thought, well, Don Francisco was the name that I used for an impression, what I did about the Jewish guy that couldn't speak well Spanish. So, he had always the accent like a German guy. And then I used that name. And that's the reason, because Don Francisco is the name that I use on television.
How old when you adopted that name in the contest?
17.